All right, the waiting is over. Time for some breaking news. And I absolutely love this call because, of course, we dug into the Pan Continental Curling Championships controversy. Brad Goujon making the headlines over some of the dismay he had over how it was ran. And listening to all of that in the background were curlers Darren Moulding, Chelsea Carey, and Colin Hodgson. They said, we want to take up the call. And there they are right now. Wonderful to see all of you on a Saturday night house party. And so let's get right to it. The 2024 Pan Continental Curling Championships are in Lacombe, Alberta. And I believe that's where we find Darren Moulding tonight. Darren, you are the chair. Take it away, my man.
Yeah, we secured the bid to have the Pan Continental Championship this October 27th to November 2nd. And it was, it's been a bit of a process. We've worked closely with the committee in Kelowna, with the city here in Lacombe, and with the curling rink. And we just thought, let's try and bring this event to Lacombe. And then we got a really good committee together, lots of support, and Chelsea and Colin are here, but we also have 11 other committee members plus dozens and dozens of volunteers already. So we are ready to turn this place here into a show for curling from all over the world.
Nice. Colin, I got to ask why, because I'm not an organizer of any kind. So to me, this seems like such a daunting task that I could never handle. But what's the why for you?
I grew up in Lacombe. I learned, I cut my teeth there. I learned how to, they gave me a place and a space. I used to spend lunch hours at school when I didn't really feel like I belonged, and I wanted to spend my time there. So this was a great opportunity to give back to that. And throughout our travels over the years, Chelsea, Darren, and myself, we've traveled the world and we've had amazing experiences. And what we wanted to do is really bring culture back to where we're from, and to just really share with the athletes and to put on a great event. I played in men's provincials where Darren knocked me out of the playoffs, I think in 2014. Chelsea had a provincial championship there as well. And it was a beautiful ice surface, a beautiful arena. And, I just finishing up with curling on the ice, for me, it's gave me a lot of purpose to work in a different space and to really maybe turn to just generate positivity. And I think Lacombe can use it, but I think, the world coming to a beautiful community like that is really important as well.
Nice.
Can I just say, it's wonderful to see the three of you. We haven't got the FaceTime of the three of you. So it's just, I'm so happy. And I know curling fans are loving seeing you.
Yeah. And also, Devin, that Colin's totally over that loss to Darren from 2014. He doesn't remember it.
This is a therapy session right now.
We had to hash it out a little last year before we curled together, but we're okay.
Chelsea, you're going to oversee making sure that the athletes are taken care of. And this is such a huge thing. You have been so thoughtful on the athlete perspective for so long. So how important is it in the wake of everything to get this right for the athletes and make sure that this event lives up to what I think we all think it can be?
Yeah, I think that was the thing for me. It was, none of us loved to hear the news last year, and I don't fault Brad for it. It sounds like there was some challenges, and those are real concerns, and that's what we want to avoid. So, I can look at it from an organizational perspective, but that's not really my role as much in this situation. It's more, if I were a player, what would I want to see? If I were a player, where am I going to stretch? Like, what I want to do is go into the arena and into the curling club and walk it as if I was about to start a game. Walk in the front end, whatever entrance I'm coming in, go into the dressing room. What does that look like? What kind of amenities are in there? How much room is in there? Go from there to the playing surface. How does that look? If I had to go to the bathroom during the game, how far is that away? Is that convenient? Is the door open for me? Is there proper carpeting there that my shoes aren't going to get dirty? Just all those little things that, when you've played in a lot of these events, you've seen it done really well. And you've seen somewhere you're like, I wish that was like this. And I wish this arena had that. So to be able to contribute on that side and to also then go and talk to some of the players, who are going to be competing in it or who have in the past and say, what did you like? What didn't you like? What would you like to see? for me is a cool thing and something I think I can lend to, just having been a player in these types of events, a few times and seen, what was good and what could maybe be done better.
Yeah. Is there gum in the basket? That was a big one for me. So Darren, tell me about the level of work from now to then, right? I mean, it sounds like it's
Well, the even the bidding process was incredibly stressful for me, but in a good way. Like, I'm learning. I thought I knew everything about curling, but then I realized I don't at all know everything about curling. But I do have a lot of knowledge, but I've been learning a lot, and there's been some weeks it's a full-time. I'm trying to do it and with my jobs and be a dad, and I mean, we're all doing that, right? And I mean, I can speak for the rest of the committee, that other people on the committee, we've got so much talent on the committee. You're looking at, obviously 2 very talented people here, 3 if you count me, I guess. But we have so many people that know, like, marketing, the facility, the city, the culture, the hotels. Like, it's been amazing to see everyone come together. And I actually feel like, even though there's a lot of work to do, I feel like I've got such a good group around me, and this team here, like, they're, we've already got subcommittees, they're taking ownership of their roles. And for me, being in Lacombe here and being able to be here every day, I'm able to sort of tie in some of those ideas to, actually what's happening here. So I think with everything we've got going here, at the end of the day, we'll be able to produce a very entertaining, successful event.
And listen, it's right where it needs to be in terms of a community that's going to wrap its arms around it. It's going to be the biggest ticket in town, near Red Deer. I have family there. I might have to make a trip out there. But it's also placed between Edmonton and Calgary. So you have a lot of communities that can make the trip there. Tickets go on sale February 20th. And I know a lot of curling fans are ready to get out there. I think this is a beautiful story because you have 3 curlers who care deeply about it, coming together, giving back to the sport. The athlete voice, needs to be at the center of this. Colin, some words on that.
Yeah, I think it's just really important that this event is, until you've experienced this event, it's really difficult to explain what it was. And that's what we're trying to get across here, is that this event isn't about wins and losses. It's about the opportunity for nations to compete and to grow and to see a future and to see hope. And I think that's what we really need, not just in the curling world, but in the sporting world. Sport can be such a beautiful bridge for issues. We just want to be able to see ourselves and to see our future, to see our youth have that opportunity. So it's, I really am excited for the A side to be a great event, but it's that B side where nations are competing internationally for the first time, or you see representation. Team India, for example, which Darren's coached, and Chelsea and I actually have been very fortunate to have the opportunity to work with. They're from different areas in the country, so they come from different backgrounds, and they're really bringing it together. So what we would hope is that, for Indian population in the area, if people can see this curlers from that area and they're doing it here, why wouldn't we bring this together? Curling has been such a sport, more of a European sport in the past, and what we're hoping to accomplish is to really cross some of those barriers and just bring people into it. Everybody talks about being inclusive, but being inclusive is really just an olive branch for welcoming people to it. So it's not about wins and losses for me. It's about representation and being able to see a possible future. So that's why I'm involved.